Welcome back to our channel, where we provide updates and undisclosed narratives on Catherine, Princess of Wales, and her royal family. We are excited to share the following news. 1 month ago, King Charles and Prince William drops a final verdict over Prince Harry's embarrassing interview on TV. Palace turmoil ensues after Prince Harry's appearance on a late-night show with King Charles and Prince William, denouncing the Duke as a loser during his unsuccessful attempt to return, as reported by an insider. After Prince Harry's last televised tour in the United States, reports indicate that the tenuous peace between the House of Windsor and the Sussexes has been irrevocably shattered. High-ranking palace insiders report that King Charles Roman III and Prince William are incensed by the Duke of Sussex's comedic appearance on The Late Show, with Stephen Colbert perceiving it not as mere entertainment, but as a deliberate act of retribution and a degrading exhibition that has entrenched his reputation within the family as a loser. Recently, there has been a surge of reports on the rejection of Christmas invitations, the refusal of financial aid, and the Duke's futile endeavor to return to the United Kingdom to preserve his family's royal titles. The palace has responded with a disgraced loser. Insiders at Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace report that the reaction to Prince Harry's last media appearance has been one of widespread irritation and significant disillusionment. The royal family has reportedly shown a stressful atmosphere privately, although maintaining their customary public demeanor of never complain, never explain. Multiple accounts indicate that King Charles and Prince William, irrespective of their professional roles, saw The Late Show performance, particularly a comedy, including a trumpet fanfare and gags about the monarchy, as undignified for a member of the royal family. The source asserts that the King and the Prince of Wales have secretly determined that Prince Harry has become a failure due to his behavior. This perspective signifies a shift from remorse over his departure to aversion towards his present course. The individual said the sentiment inside the palace is that this was not only a jest, but also a devaluation of the institution. This was not only a practical joke. The King and Prince William find it very distressing to see Prince Harry engage in scripted performances that mock the decorum expected in royal protocol. They see him as a failure because, to maintain his relevance, he has turned to trivial entertainment and political humor instead of upholding the dignity of his legacy. Publicly accessible information substantiates the background of this outrage. The Duke of Sussex has been progressively erasing the distinctions between his identity as a royal figure and that of a prominent entertainer since the release of his book Spare and the documentary series Harry and Meghan, accessible on Netflix. Royal experts have long cautioned that the transition from HR to Hollywood superstar would alienate the organization from its clientele. The palace contends that Harry is compromising his heritage to gain acclaim by engaging in a comedic performance that satirizes the American fascination with and repudiation of royalty. An insider offered another perspective, stating, "William is very distressed." According to his perspective, Harry is ridiculing the life of service to which the late Queen Elizabeth Roman II dedicated herself. William contends that Harry is not only jesting. Instead, he is trying to undermine the monarchy's currency. The impetus behind this is retaliation for financial and social deprivation. There is no coincidence. According to reports about the date of this televised appearance, the propensity of Prince Harry to participate in political satire and laugh about the royal family, according to insiders within the royal family, is a direct act of retribution against his father and brother. This retaliatory approach is a result of two key grounds of contention: the lack of financial help and the exclusion from the Christmas party that the royal family is hosting. After the Sussexes resigned from their positions as senior royals in the year 2020, they were no longer eligible to receive the sovereign grant, as is well documented in the public domain. According to reports, recent demands for funds possibly related to security expenditures or the upkeep of their lifestyle have been greeted with a stonewall from King Charles. Additionally, Harry publicly bemoaned that his family actually cut me off financially in an interview that he gave to Oprah. In addition, The insider asserts that the revenge manifested itself as a result of the absence of an invitation to the United Kingdom for the Christmas session that was held at Sandringham. The Christmas stroll that the royal family takes to St. Mary Magdalene Church is a routine event on the royal calendar and serves as a symbol of the family's cohesiveness. To exclude Harry or to make him feel unwanted is a severe kind of snub. Harry is behaving in an inappropriate manner. The person said he is aware that the palace despises losing control over the narrative, which is the one thing that they fear the most. Through his appearance on television and the telling of these jokes, he is retaliating against Charles and William for shutting down the Bank of P and excluding him from holiday celebrations with his family. It is a temper tantrum happening on a stage that spans the whole world. There has been a lack of clarity in the public discourse around Christmas. The publishing of Endgame by Omid Scobie and the ongoing repercussions from Spare made it politically and personally difficult for the Windsor to get back together. Despite the fact that some stories claimed that the Sussexes would have been receptive to an invitation, the Windsor were unable to get back together. According to the source, Harry considers this exclusion to be an insult, which is what drives his desire to humiliate the family in front of American media channels. Titles on the line. While the negotiation failed to take place, there was a covert discussion that took place about the Sussex titles, and it was unsuccessful. This is perhaps the most bombshell assertion that the insider has made. The source of the information claims that Prince Harry made a request for permission to go back to the United Kingdom in order to meet with King Charles and Prince William. His purpose was quite specific. He wanted to persuade them to stop any more movement toward removing him and Meghan of their titles as Duke and Duchess, and he also wanted to ensure that their children, Prince Archie and Princess Liat, would be able to use their titles. The question of titles has been a contentious subject ever since the year 2020. Despite the fact that Harry and Meghan have kept their titles of Duke and Duchess of Sussex, they have been urged to refrain from using their Her Royal Highness styles in any business establishments. Most recently, there has been an increase in public pressure in the United Kingdom, and a measure has even been filed in Parliament that might give the King the authority to remove titles from royals who are not currently employed. According to the source, Harry is well aware of the danger that he faces. In order to present his case, Harry wanted to return to the United Kingdom. The guarantees that the titles would be protected and that his children's birthright would be honored were something that he desired. He was hoping for a peace agreement in order to save his brand. On the other hand, the source claims that King Charles and Prince William did not give their consent to this desire for a repeat visit, reportedly humiliating the Duke. The refusal to give Harry an audience to discuss titles further fueled the notion of revenge surrounding his recent appearance on television. According to the source, the King and Prince William are not even somewhat interested in engaging in horse trading over titles. Their interpretation of his plea to return was that he was attempting to exert influence on the issue. The rejection was complete and utter. An example of a joke that backfired is the Colbert incident. It was Prince Harry's appearance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert that served as the impetus for this most recent wave of protests from the royal family. In a section that was intended to be amusing, the encounter became a lightning point for criticism, both for its clumsy delivery and for the political implications that it contained. During the discussion, Harry and Colbert spoke about the American infatuation with the royal family of the United Kingdom. On the other hand, the discussion took a drastic turn when Harry made an effort to make fun of former President Donald Trump by referring to him as a king. As the transcript of the incident demonstrates, the discomfort of the situation was on full display. Harry said, "Well, you Americans are crazy with Christmas movies, and it is obvious that you are obsessed with monarchy, so why not indulge in that obsession?" While applauding, Colbert said, hold on, please be patient. I would not argue that we are fascinated with aristocracy, which we are. Harry, are you serious? That is the case. I was with you. I was with you when you chose a king. This phrase was supposed to be a zinger, a reference to the cult of personality that surrounds Donald Trump, or to the dictatorial manner that is thought to be associated with our president. The response from the crowd, on the other hand, was not uniformly positive. There were loud objections as well as scattered laughs. It seems as if the joke was unsuccessful on several levels. First and foremost, it violated the fundamental principle of royal neutrality. Through his participation in a joke that referred to a former president of the United States of America, who is also a political contender at the present time. As a king, Harry entered the divided seas of American politics, which is a location where there is a constitutional prohibition against the participation of British royals. Second, the speech was monotonous and contrived, and it lacked the genuine charm that is necessary to successfully pull off political comedy. It was uncomfortable to witness a British prince make fun of the political system in the United States, and the boos from the crowd brought attention to the contentious nature of the topic at hand. Disgraced loser son is the verdict that the media has reached. There was an instant and harsh response to the segment that Colbert had done, notably from conservative media sources in the United States. Caroline Downey, a journalist for the National Review, and Tom Shillue, a contributor to Fox News, participated in a panel discussion that deconstructed the moment and provided a harsh evaluation that is consistent with the palace's reported loser mentality. Within the supplied transcript, the panelists discussed the reasons why the joke was unsuccessful, as well as the implications it had for Harry's present situation. Tom Shillue said that the crowd was jeering at the joke itself because of the strange concept and the delivery of the joke, which was really terrible. All right. The obvious thing is that they were jeering at Trump. According to Shillue, they were not really booing the joke, but in essence, they were booing the joke because the reason they were booing is because the joke did not fly because Harry is not a good comic. They had written it down. It is obvious that they should not engage in this back and forth. They ought to have let him be the one to naturally tell the joke. The audience in the United States takes the idea of no king seriously, as Shillue pointed out, and the writers for Colbert, as well as Harry, misread the atmosphere in the room. When it came down to it, the writers for Colbert were in essence making fun of the No King movement, and they were unhappy about it. However, Caroline Downey was the one who delivered the most scathing critique. According to reports, her remarks are a reflection of the precise feeling that Prince William and King Charles have. Regarding the question of whether or not she thought the skit humorous, her answer was a complete and utter deconstruction of Harry's persona. Downey said, no, that is not at all. And what in the world would he know about the power that comes with being a king? He caused the royal family to fall apart so that he and Meghan could go their own ways. He has become the son of the discredited loser in the line of succession to the throne, is his brother, and not him. Downey's portrayal of Harry as the disgraced loser son is a reflection of the statements made by palace insiders pertaining to the situation. On the other hand, it portrays an image of a guy who has given up his constitutional importance in exchange for cheap chuckles, and even that has not been successful. Following this, Downey proceeded by defending the political structure of the United States of America against Harry's mocking, saying, "And yes, we are still a constitutional republic. I am aware that some on the left disagree with that. Trump is exercising a significant amount of that power, but it does not make us a monarchy." Emily Campano, the host of the show, praised Downey's study as it came to a close, therefore supporting the panel's opinion that Harry is out of his depth, out of touch, and ultimately a figure of derision. Expert analysis and public opinion form the subject of Part 6. A new and potentially hazardous reality has emerged for the Duke of Sussex as a result of the confluence of the private wrath of the palace and the public mocking of the media. As a result of this episode, experts believe that Harry's truth-telling campaign is beginning to decline in its effectiveness. The narrative of the lesser, apparently used by the King and Prince William. The phrase loser is noteworthy in this context. A person who serves with responsibility, maintains the mystery of the monarchy, and safeguards the institution is considered a winner in royal parliament. According to those standards, Harry's decision to switch to written humor is considered a loss. Tom Bower, a royal biographer, has said in the past that the Sussexes are finding out that their notoriety is wholly based on their royal position. When they make fun of their royal status, they diminish their own worth. According to the criticism provided by Fox News, Harry is seen as little more than a terrible comedian with a renowned surname, since he does not possess the dignity of the crown. The unrequited retribution. In the event that the insider allegation is accurate, which states that this was a kind of retaliation for socioeconomic marginalization, analysts think that it has been unsuccessful. Rather than attempting to coerce the king into giving him his hand, or to win over his compassion, Harry has alienated the exact American audience that he needs. There is a warning notice in the form of boos from the crowd at Colbert. The United States of America may have a deep fascination with monarchy, but they are very protective of their own political identity. A working royal would never make the mistake of mocking their electoral choices, which is a diplomatic faux pas that a British prince would never do. What is in the title? Harry finds himself in a particularly perilous situation as a result of the reported unsuccessful discussion about titles. His weakness is now on show if he really attempted to return to the United Kingdom in order to secure his titles, and was unsuccessful in doing so. All of the cards are in the palace's deck. The fact that King Charles has chosen to maintain his silence and decline the meeting is evidence that the monarchy will continue to function without Harry participating. The grey rocking method, which involves ignoring either the narcissist or the agitator, seems to be the strategy that the king has decided to use. A violation of the constitutional precepts. Those who specialize in law and constitutional law have also provided their opinions on the Trump as king joke. In spite of the fact that Harry is a private individual, he is a British title holder. Technically speaking, it would be a violation of the etiquette that ensures the monarchy remains politically neutral if a Duke of the Realm were to make a remark on the character of the United States presidency. Not only does this provide support for those in the United Kingdom Parliament who are advocating for the removal of his titles, but it also validates the very danger that Harry reportedly attempted to eradicate, a deepening of the pit. The circumstances that have been depicted by those with knowledge of the issue present a picture of a familial bond that is not just strained, but even possibly dead. The position of Prince William. As a result of his wrath, Prince William has reportedly transitioned into a mood of indifference and protectionism. According to several sources, his wife, the Princess of Wales, and his children are the primary concerns of his attention. Because of his perspective, Harry's antics are not a relationship that can be rescued. Rather, they are a distraction that has to be controlled. The remark that Harry is a loser gives the impression that William no longer considers him to be a danger to the throne, but rather a pathetic character who is clamoring for attention. The problem facing King Charles. There is a good chance that the suffering is more personal for King Charles. However, as the monarch, he is obligated to prioritize the crown. Assuming that Harry is using his appearances on television to take retribution for financial kudo-offs, it is impossible to believe that the king is giving in to blackmail, indicating that half-in half-out paradigm is actually extinct. The reluctance to invite Harry for Christmas or to give him an audience about titles is a clear indication of this. Final thoughts. One of the most recent chapters in the Sussex drama is characterized by a harsh new label, loser. According to those with knowledge of the situation, King Charles and Prince William now have this perspective on Prince Harry as a result of his participation on The Late Show. As a result of his rejection by his family, what Harry meant to be a hilarious interaction with an American audience has been seen in London as an act of vengeance and an act that lacks dignity. As a result of the Trump as king joke, which was met with jeers from the crowd and derision from analysts such as Caroline Downey, the notion that Harry is adrift has been strengthened. It would seem that the Duke of Sussex has become more agitated since he has been cut off, financially barred from spending Christmas at Sandringham, and even refused a meeting to preserve his titles. The contrast between the working royals continuing their duties and the disgraced loser son, as critics have branded him telling awkward jokes to a mixed reception in a television studio, is becoming more and more stark as the palace continues to maintain its dignified silence. Even if the catastrophe that befell the House of Windsor is still unfolding, the balance of power has altered. According to reports, the palace are not only upset, but they are also unimpressed, and it seems that the doors to reconciliation are closing firmly. Key claims and context analysis and discussion. One must examine the precise factors indicated in the insider accusations and the public response in order to get a complete understanding of the significance of this revelation. 1. The financial controversy, also known as the Bank of P. Upon leaving the United Kingdom, the Sussexes struck lucrative arrangements with Netflix and Spotify, the latter of which has since failed. The insider assertion that Harry's acts are vengeance for financial cut-offs corresponds with the timetable of events that take place following me. On the other hand, the expenses associated with their safety and way of life in Montecito are beyond comprehension. The removal of financing from the Duchy of Cornwall by Prince Charles, who was prince at the time, was a significant setback, which Harry referred to in a scathing manner. In the event that Harry is in fact looking for fresh backing, the king's denial would undoubtedly result in feelings of bitterness. It is possible to interpret his presence on The Late Show, which is a promotion of his commercial endeavors, as a message of defiance. If you would not support me, I will sell my tail and my standing to the highest bidder. 2. Those who ignore Christmas. This assertion is symbolic in nature, and it pertains to the Christmas invitation. The private royal family's headquarters are located at Sandringham Manor. To be looked down upon as a distant cousin rather than a son is what it means to be excluded. In the event that Harry attempted to return but was unsuccessful, this would be evidence of his exile. The remark that he made on Colbert about how Americans are crazy with Christmas movies takes on a cynical tone when seen in this context, since it mocks the same customs that he is not privy to. 3. Loser is the labeling. One of the most destructive claims is this one. One thing is anger, but another is disdain for someone. In the event that William and Charles still consider Harry to be a loser, this suggests that they no longer respect him. This is in agreement with the comments that Caroline Downey provided for Fox News. When those on the political right in the United States, as represented by the Fox panel, and those in the royal establishment in the United Kingdom, come to an agreement on a story, it brings about a tremendous wall of negative public opinion. 4. A joke about the Trump King. An examination of the transcript reveals the reasons why this was a strategic mistake. The joke goes as follows: I heard you elected a king. The intention is to make fun of Trump's dictatorial characteristics or the commitment of the MAGA movement. The end result was boos. Tom Shillue made the observation that the people of the United States of America take their republic very seriously. In order to avoid having a king, they waged a war. It would be quite insensitive of a British royal to make such a joke. In addition to alienating the public, it provided detractors all the ammo they needed to label him a disgraced loser. 5. The negotiation for the title. An increasing amount of political pressure in the United Kingdom lends credence to the claim that Harry attempted to return in order to preserve his titles. Rupert Seeley, a member of the Conservative Party, has proposed legislation that will deprive the Sussexes of their titles. It makes perfect sense for Harry to try to interfere with the king if he is under the impression that this is a genuine danger. As a result of the king's purported unwillingness to meet, it seems that Charles is either leaving the subject up to Parliament or just refusing to engage, which makes Harry even more isolated. Based on assertions made by insiders and a study of public opinion, this report paints a picture of Prince Harry as someone who is socially isolated under financial strain and lashing out via media appearances that are lowering his status. The response of King Charles and Prince William, who termed him a failure, represents a new low point in the relationship between the two of them. Rather than being a victory, the episode that occurred on The Late Show has become a case study in the dangers that come with being famous royalty. It has garnered boos from the general people and derision from the palace. Thank you for watching the video. Please let us know your thoughts and say goodbye for now.